this next video short is a direct response to a poll that we've had going on our Facebook group, Zeta Connection. And we asked what people would like us to talk about. And at the top of the list was hybrid humans and point of origin. So the question was, how is a hybrid human of consciousness, so we're not talking about any of the biological stuff here, how is a human of consciousness, hybrid human of consciousness created? It's a big mouthful. And so we're going to answer that, right?
Well, we're going to try.
We're going to try. So this is how we understand the process.
Yeah.
Do you want me to do it, or are you going to do it?
No, you go for it.
You want me to do it? Okay. So the Zetas told us a few years ago now that approximately 30% of the human population consisted of hybrid humans. And we know that from what the Zetas have said, that this process is done in agreement with the spirit realm beings. And so the Zetas, and I'll speak about those specifically in relation to this, will contact the parents of the child to be born, and they ask their permission to blend the consciousness of the Zeta with the spirit person upon birth. So it's not done at conception.
No, that's right. And then what happens is, because the Zetas and the races are a universal law, is that extraterrestrials don't enter into the spirit realm.
Yeah.
Then what happens is one, they've talked to the higher self of the parents, and the parents have agreed that there will be a hybrid child. That's the first step. The second step that takes place is that spirit people incarnate into on conception into the child, and then at that point of conception, when the spirit person enters the cellular creation process, the Zetas are able to then discuss with the higher self, that is to be, whether it will allow a hybrid process, a symbiotic relationship. And so from a lot of people discuss, when does a person really exist? When does the soul enter the body? Some people say it's on birth. Some people say before that. The Zetas have said it's on conception.
For them.
For them.
No, for spirit.
No, for spirit people.
Yeah.
So they've made it quite clear.
There's been an advance agreement.
Yeah, that there's been advance agreement. So as I just said, it's a multi-staged process in regards to free will and agreement.
Yeah. So that's how they do it.
Yep.
Other races have different processes, but the most important thing about all of that is it's all done in agreement one way or another.
Yeah.
This is why the abductors can't manage it, because they have not sought the agreement with the spirit consciousness first. So they're unable to animate the human body when we're talking about biological hybrids.
Yeah. I am sitting here thinking about walk-ins. Wow. So you're 30 or 40 years old, and suddenly, bam, you become an extraterrestrial. What happened to the spirit person? Where did that spirit person go? What did they, by agreement, leave, go back to spirit realm, and then another spirit stepped in, or did an extraterrestrial step in? Walk-in is a very interesting process.
And it means different things to different people.
Different things to different people, of course.
Yeah, I mean, some people have a very negative view of a walk-in, that it's done without agreement, and it's push one out and another one steps in, and other people have a very positive viewpoint on walk-ins.
Definitely walk-ins is a subject that we could talk to the Zetas about.
Yeah, I think we need to know.
We've got a complete list of questions from people.
I've got a thesis worth of questions. So here's a second part to the question.
All right.
So we have a spirit consciousness, and we'll just go with Zeta consciousness combined to form the consciousness of the human, and then of course that then creates the construct, which is used by the human to filter everything around them, right? But what happens upon death of the physical body?
The wow, okay, well, this is getting some big stuff. So then, of course, the reclamation is that the spirit person goes back to spirit realm, and the extraterrestrial consciousness goes back to its originating space.
And that's a very natural process.
That's a very natural process. No one would know. But then there's a secondary process called the gateway.
That's a whole new can of worms.
It's a whole new process that's been around for about 18 months to 2 years, where a person may think in their mind, look, I actually don't want to move back to spirit realm. I want to become an extraterrestrial. And the extraterrestrials have created a process called the gateway. And the gateway was created by the Council of Nine. And the Council of Nine have within the gateway 9 specific entry points to each of the races. Now, if a person who's a hybrid wants to bring their spirit portion with them back with their extraterrestrial part back to their originating point of origin, which is the extraterrestrial part, they have to go through the gateway, have to acknowledge which race they want to go back to, and then they're held in a temporary holding state. And that's because when they left the race to become a human, they were in their original consciousness. They've then come into the human form, had a symbiotic relationship, then they've passed. Spirit's supposed to have gone back with all of the things that relate to spirit, back to spirit realm, and the extraterrestrial component returns in its originating form. But because now the spirit form wants to cohabitate the consciousness of the extraterrestrial, they need to go into the temporary learning environment within the gateway so that they can be trained to exist, holding those thoughts that related to their existence while they were in this human form. And there's a lot of questions about it. We've had we've written some blog articles on our website, and I think there's a paper that's been written on it as well.
There has been.
Because there was a lot of debate originally when the concept first came out as to, well, what would you actually need to make as a decision about moving from your normal symbiotic state as a hybrid with spirit person back to a race? At what point do you need to make the decision that you're going to do that? Can you make the decision before you pass over? Can you make the decision after you pass over?
Can you reverse your decision?
Can you reverse your decision? What happens if you decide not to go back to spirit realm? So, of course, there's all these ethical questions in regards to that. You decide not to go back to spirit realm, but then the spirit person halfway through the process decides that they made a mistake.
Kind of too late.
You see, it's all a little bit too late. But, I mean, we can do a video on this. If people are interested, you could just put some comments if you want the video or not.
It's a lot. It's
That's
a massive
big area.
subject. It's a massive subject. Anyway, did we actually answer the question? I think we did.
I think we did.
So you talk more about that in your book, Alien Interaction, don't you? The different states of existence.
Different states of existence, yes. But we've got the primer of the Zeta race, the Zeta interviews, the Zeta mind contact, the other one which has just come out and been rewritten called Inside the Hive Mind. And there's a lot of information right across thousands and thousands of pages. But the first 2 books that I mentioned are free as downloads via PDF. We'll catch you soon.
Okay.